back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Discipline Therapy Podcast. I'm your host, EL Discipline. Alongside me is your other host, Suhey Sotomayor. We know you are guys are fiends. It is
Mm-hmm.
Discipline Therapy Thursdays, and you know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy where not everything is completely free, as we are on Patreon for a plethora of exclusive content, bloopers, behind the scenes, conspiracy theories. She's gonna go through it for you to see. But what is free is judgment free, sucker free, censor free, sensitive free, and plenty of liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, and my favorite roll of blunt. Make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we got that soul food and sometimes vocal conversation might be fed light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Dispensary Podcast.
We're
We're
here.
here.
All right. And if you want to become part of our Patreon family and see everything that Mr. Discipline just went over behind the scenes, bloopers, the solo lectures, the discipline therapy talk, BDSM content, erotica posts and writings, the masterclass and workshops, all the full videos are uploaded onto that platform. So if you want to be part of that, you just go to Discipline Therapy. No, I'm sorry, patreon.com/ the Discipline Therapy Podcast. He also has 7 books for you to choose from to purchase. Just Google them. All of them pop up and where you can purchase them on. We have them on uh, Google.com, BarnesandNooks.com, Kindle, um, Nook for electronic versions. And once again, all the links are in the description below the video. We also have our online store for merch. You want to go to disciplinetherapy.launchcart.store/shop and check out all the stuff we have there. And if you cannot get us on your YouTube channel, don't worry, we are on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Deezer, Castbox, Overcast, iHeartRadio, and many, many more.
The sofa scene is like the best, out of all the studios we always go to. Cause it's so laid back, relaxed. Like I could
Comfy.
just, you know, top the shit, you know what I'm saying, and just relax and stuff like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're gonna get into it. Um, so season 20, episode 214.
Mm-hmm. Street smart versus book smart. Which is more powerful?
Okay,
That's a
okay.
good one. I,
Right.
I personally, I'm gonna go with street smart. Being book smart is very, is very good, obviously. Um, but I think for me, street smart, uh, there's something with being street smart. It kind of has a little bit of extra in it. You know what I mean? Like, you have like your instincts with street smart. You have a way to kind of like detect bullshit. Um, it's almost like an extra power, if you will. And if somebody is street smart but not book smart, they can always learn how to incorporate book smarts into that life. But being book smart doesn't, for me at least, doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be street smart. Um, you may not know, not culture, but like how to navigate yourself in outside waters that you're not used to. And so you can be book smart, but you may say something wrong because you don't know, the culture of the people that you're talking to or whatever. Um, so I don't think that. I mean, I guess with over time, somebody can maybe pick up on certain cues and then be street smart, but I don't. I don't necessarily think that that's true. I do believe that if you're street smart but not book smart, that can be incorporated, but not always the other way around.
Um, Me personally, when it comes to book smart and street smart, I'm gonna say that street smart is more powerful only because it's like synonymous with common sense.
Mm-hmm.
So book smart when you are like you're reading the material that's already indoctrinated there, right? You have a great eidetic memory. You're able to read something and then regurgitate it. You're
Mm-hmm.
memorizing something. But street smart is something like well read. You can read body language. You can read characteristics of somebody. Certain energy. You can read that. So
It's almost
um
innate, also.
yeah, so it's like street smart is something that you adopt in depending on the environment,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then book is already the material that is there. So it can be something you learn from school that is through a guideline of, like, I've known females who are book smart, but they don't know anything about female and male nature.
Mm.
So you have a lot of people that can, like I said, reiterate, they have a great eidetic memory.
Mm-hmm.
They've absorbed the material from school. That's why they were able to pass the test, and they remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And they implement that based off what they're reading. I'm not saying book smart bad thing.
I was just thinking that.
It's
Yeah.
just that the street is something that is just like you were saying, innate.
Mm-hmm.
It is something that, like, you pick up on, whether it's someone that's well read. They feel that person's energy in the room, the vibrations. They could tell by, oh, I don't just listen to words, I follow actions. um they can see the soul. um they can feel the soul. When they step into the room, they can feel it. Like, all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff is street smart. Like, you're aware of your surroundings, but that is that intuition,
It's
which is
almost
like
like,
the summary of what I'm gonna get. Like, the street smart is like the intuition.
right. It's almost like a survival guide,
Yeah,
like that's built in you.
rival characteristics.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, like, you're using these senses to realize
Like what's
oh,
around you.
what's around you. Like, if somebody, you meet somebody, and then your energy just feels bad.
Mm-hmm.
Out of nowhere, you got a chills. Out of nowhere, you got a fever. Out of nowhere, you got a stomach ache. Out of
Mm-hmm.
nowhere, you got a headache. And the person who is spiritually intelligent is like, I need to, like, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe let me see if it happens again when I'm around them again. Every time they call me, every time, let me see that. Then they start to, this person is not good.
Mm.
They could be fundamentally evil, but they're
Mm.
doing so well to hide it.
Yeah.
But their energy can't be hidden. Their vibrations can't be hidden because they cannot manipulate that. They can manipulate you through a mask, but they cannot manipulate their own energy.
Do
So
you?
your street smart um abilities and skills are picking up on those things.
I was gonna ask you. Do you associate that just with street smarts, or do you think somebody who's book smart can also have that spiritual intelligence?
Yeah,
They
you
both can,
can
right?
you can, like, we're gonna get into that,
Okay.
but um someone can have both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Wait,
I hear,
both.
the thing is, usually I see that the person that had the street smart first can have the book, and then they become the most powerful. Not oftentimes it works. I'm not saying it can't. Like, it's a possibility.
Yeah. No, no,
You know,
that I get.
you know what I'm saying? Like, high probability, not a high probability, but it
Mm.
is a possibility that the other way around can occur. Somebody
Yeah.
that's book smart first, that never had to adopt those skills because they already had the material for them granted to them or whatever. So they didn't work on those things. Weren't taught those things. Then they try to go back to those things. um it doesn't often
Right.
happen that way.
I think that when it does, when somebody who's book smart does develop some of that street smart, I think it's because those people are open to learning something new. Like the people who are book smart, I feel like this is just my thoughts. Can be kind of snotty, because they know a lot about what they've studied, and so there's another word for it, but for lack of me remembering it, it's like snotty, like they have their nose up in the air, right? So
Yeah,
why
they're
would they
arrogant.
think arrogant?
They're
So
arrogant.
why would they think that they have to,
Learn
learn,
anything.
that? But somebody who's book smart that maybe hangs out with, with coworkers who are street smart too, and they pick up on it. That's somebody who's open to learn things.
Mm,
But my question to you was, because you had stated like spiritual intelligence, you
mhm,
know what I mean? My question was, do you think t- clearly we both agree that street smart and spiritual intelligence are they kind of coincide with each other, and they can also incorporate book smart at some point, right? But do you also think that book smart and spiritual intelligence can be can go together also?
yeah, but
Yeah, I think so
like
too.
you were saying, right? They have to be open to that.
Yes.
Sometimes people, it's hard for them to get out the matrix,
Yeah.
right? It's hard for them to unlearn what they learned,
Mhm.
right? So, like, look at this for example, right? I've used this before. A man or woman can read one book, specifically the Bible, and they think that's law. That's everything it is
Mhm.
in that regard. It is either God or devil,
Mhm.
heaven or hell. That's it. There's no middle ground. And then you have another man or woman who reads one book. It's not enough.
Mhm.
It can be a religious person, the Bible. The other side, scientist,
Mhm.
doctor. So, they have to be open, like the scientists, not closed off on many different perspectives
Yeah.
to then determine their own and what it is. Facts, opinion, then subjective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then what is the overall base,
Mm.
so it takes the individual, like you were saying, to actually, take it upon themselves and, maybe I'll question this, maybe I'll
Right.
question that. Like, um as I got older, I questioned everything I learned in school. So,
Smart.
based off now, as you're navigating into the world, going through the experiences. Oh, they didn't teach me this in school. Why didn't they teach me investment? Why didn't they teach me that? Oh, they're trying to keep you in debt. That's how their
Mhm.
revenue, like a revolving door, right? So money makes the world go round, metaphorically. And now it's like, oh, so this is all print, it's propaganda, gimmick, it's a
Mhm.
setup, it's a situation where you do go to the establishment, school facility, and they're training you for potential jail. The bell rings, when you gotta eat, wait in line for lunch, all that stuff that they do in prison. You know what I'm saying? They've
Yeah.
incorporated that in
The
the
school system. Yeah.
school systems, and then, like, it's just all about being conscious. So when like I'm like, we're breaking it down, but just for layman's terms, to summarize, right? You have street smart, conscious, I would say, and woke, and then you have book smart, like kind of like an indoctrination.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, of material that's already been out. And then it comes down to, like, you know, I've always questioned everything that was in front of me. I've read, I've seen. That's why I've been a conspiracy theorist for so
Mhm.
long, right? So this is part of the street smart in me.
Questioning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Those feelings and, going with that. And then, I'm also book smart myself. Like, I'm open to, like, reading and learning new things,
Mhm.
and you know, it depends on how I'm gonna incorporate it in my life. You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense.
What you're learning, you mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it just it comes down to the individual, for
Uh,
sure.
so with street smart versus book smart, obviously, we both agree that street smart is a little bit is more powerful. So, do you think that I'm just okay? I have it's a two part. Do you think men should be more street smart than book smart?
The thing is, mm,
And also for the
yeah,
women, do you think the
yes,
women should be more street smart than book smart?
yes. Oh, as you're getting that information, you're possibly teaching from that information.
Mm-hmm.
You're moving from that information. And what it's doing is that may not necessarily help you in life.
Okay.
So, with, I believe, the street smart, it can help you navigate with people and things and, saving your life or
Mm-hmm.
getting you in better positions and stuff of that nature. Now, I would urge men and women to be both.
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna pick one, um, street smart, it's just like some like common sense is not always common.
That ain't that the truth.
So I've met a lot of book smart people that are really dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No
saying?
common sense.
So it's like a street smart person can always be book smart
Mm-hmm.
because they've already, like, imagine, right, they've already adopted these skills, so now they're going into something new
Mm.
to also bring those skills. So now the street smart person can go further in other endeavors,
Mm.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, versus the book smart person only is just limited.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you have both, like you're taking over the world. If it's a couple like that, that's a real power couple. But um most people don't have both. So in a way, the book smart person, based off what they've read, they've implemented, and they're gonna get to that level of success. So they're only gonna believe that.
Mm.
So if you're like if okay, you let's say you're book smart and I'm street smart,
Okay.
and we meet someone, we go to the bank, drop some money off or whatever, and the white lady or the white man is like, he says something like, oh, yeah, you guys dropping a lot of money or whatever, um what are you guys gonna go to, like a hip hop video vacation or hip hop show, or like, they see you and then they automatically start playing hip hop music, or they see you and they're like, automatically going off of a racial stereotype,
Mm.
and it flies over your head. You're laughing at the joke, I'm not laughing at it. And then, when, to me, it's like, I'm not gonna make a scene.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter. You know, guy knows, I'll say, yeah, I don't think that's funny. The guy gets my view. You now look at me serious and you stop laughing. Now, when we leave, separate cars or we drove there together or whatever, I say, man, that guy's racist. And then you're like, oh, it was just a joke. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like reading in depth. He didn't come out and say a racial slur. You're looking for the racial slur, but it
Mm.
flew over your head of what it is. I'm street smart. I'm looking in depth. You're book smart. So now, because you're book smart and lighter skin, it's flying over your head because, like, privilege is invisible to you because you got it.
Mm.
So you're like, oh no, discipline, like, come on. This ain't the 1700s. Things changed or whatever it is. It's invisible to you because you have it. So me, I'm using my street smart skills to pick up on those things. Yo, and then now I'm explaining them to you. Oh, did you notice that he put the hip hop music soon as we came in? Did you notice what he said? Oh, if he was asking if we were gonna go to a hip hop event or whatever or vacation.
Mm.
That's a stereotype. Da
Okay.
da 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 da. Like, why, why can't I like,
Classical music.
yeah, you know what I mean? I'm picking up on those things, and because you're book smart, you're not like, you're not seeing it. You know what I'm saying? It's not common to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not making sense. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's like, oh, it's common sense. He's straight racist.
Right.
Nowadays, people ain't gonna say that because they know they could lose their job. They're not gonna be reprimanded and all those things. But look at the way I'm being treated versus that person. You know what I'm saying? Look at the way that male manager is being treated versus that female white manager or that Asian white manager or that Jewish manager or that white manager, whoever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're both males, they're both females, but they're like, you could see that based off your street smart abilities, what they're saying, what they're doing, how
Mm-hmm.
they're moving. You know what I'm saying? The book smart person hasn't been able to incorporate those skills because all they focused on was the books.
Right. Exactly.
You know what
So
I'm
do
saying?
you
And
think?
most likely they didn't go through those experiences to be able to do it. Like if I grew up in the street, all I had was my instincts to help save my life
Mm-hmm.
from certain situations. You know what I'm saying? If you just grew around books, you're like, it comes down to the analogy of what I was saying with the example of the privilege aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not privileged to that. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
never had to experience that.
Right. Um. So when people say that when people who say that they graduated from School of Hard Knocks, do you think that that's also like similar to being street smart?
Like street university.
Yeah.
I got my street diploma.
Yeah.
I think when people say that, they're trying to be dumb. Like, who says that nowadays?
Well, maybe not now. I'm just saying you've heard that phrase, right? The School of Hard Knocks. Like they've come from
Yeah,
the whole school.
yeah,
So
I've
is that
I've
like
heard
street
it, but
smart?
who made that up? White people?
I don't think so.
School of Hard Knocks,
I
like
think people from like
urban community,
yeah,
like,
like the city and stuff.
hmm,
We should look that up. You know what? That's what I'm
yeah,
gonna do.
School of Hard Knocks. Like that's just a metaphor for like struggle,
But do you think that that is like like
synonymous with
yes, thank you, synonymous. I couldn't remember. I was like simile. That's not it.
with
Yeah, with street smart.
School of Hard Knocks. No,
Okay, why not?
no, because like you have to define like what School of Hard Knocks means. Does it mean that the struggle? You know what I'm saying? And you made it out of the struggle.
Hmm.
Oh, these kids today, what?
It says no single person came up with the phrase "School of Hard Knocks" as it evolved from 19th century American slang describing life's tough lessons. First appearing in print around 1870 in The Men Who Advertised, contrasting practical experience with formal education, and was popularized in sermons and literature to emphasize learning through hardship. So it kind of is.
Struggle.
Hmm. Through
Yeah,
or learning through hardship.
yeah. So like that doesn't necessarily make you adopt street smart,
Whoa.
in my opinion. It just helps you to survive. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like somebody,
Interesting.
like I'm gonna give you an example, right? Somebody could say, you know what, the kids today don't know about physical manual labor. And like somebody who is like getting older in age that is still physically like, abusing their body in work and stuff like that is not working smart. They're
Hmm.
working dumb. But because they've always had to go through the struggle, the goal is not to go through the struggle forever. A lot of times when you hear these people that are like, oh, like most suburban kids want to be like, oh, I want to go to the hood and do all these. Like, no, it's like we were in that situation because we had no choice. We were born there, so we had to
Hmm.
survive. You know what I'm saying? It's like being in a safari.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like you now want to be in the jungle. Why? With the giraffes and the elephants and the hyenas and the lions. It's not built for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like why? Because it's cool. So you gotta understand, like people that had to go through the struggle, oftentimes it wasn't their choice.
Yeah.
They made a
That's true.
choice to like learn to survive, to get out of there. The goal is not to keep going through the struggle, to just talk about, yeah, I went through the struggle. Look what I'm. No, the goal is to eventually have an easy life if you went through the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe that someone who went through school of hard knocks necessarily puts them in the category of street smart.
Right. They just had a hard time.
Yeah,
Right. That makes sense.
you know what I'm saying? Because
Good answer.
like someone like a white kid from the suburban area could be street smart.
Hmm.
You know what
It's
I'm
true.
saying?
Yep.
It's not like a hood thing. It's not
Right.
like a
Right.
urban thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? It's a common sense thing. It's like I linked it with intuition, spirituality.
Yeah. It says practical and experiential intelligence.
Yeah, so when you look at it, right, it comes down to oh shit, this is perfect. In my second book, The Importance of Discipline, I have a chapter that's titled Knowledge versus knowledge, I think, versus understanding.
Mm.
The knowledge is like the book smart. It is the way of how quickly you can absorb the information.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a great eidetic memory. Like I can remember phone numbers. A lot of people don't remember phone numbers nowadays. I can remember dates, times, conversations, what you were wearing the first time I saw you, our first conversation, whatever it was, went on a date. I can remember all of these things, right? That's knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is a unique individual that has a great eidetic memory. They can read a paragraph and it sticks with them. And then you have the street smart, which is the understanding. When you see the knowledge versus the understanding, this is what I correlate the book versus the street smart. Um and then the understanding is like the spiritualness,
Mm.
your ancestors, your conscious may be talking to you, helping you out. And then the knowledge is there. Like we always talk about knowledge is fuel for power, but it's
Mm-hmm.
applied knowledge that's really
Yes.
power.
Well, you said that you would encourage both men and women to be both, again, both street smart and book smart. Um, is a woman just being book smart? Like, would you be able to? I sound so crazy. Like, work with her, like, or would you? Yeah, right.
Yeah, they have to be open. A book smart person, they can incorporate great speaking skills,
Mm.
Harvard grad, high level vernacular,
Yeah, that's true.
right? These this high vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
extensively high vocabulary, right? But it doesn't make them smart. All they're doing is regurgitating. They don't understand what they're saying. They speak well. It sounds nice. They don't
Mm.
understand it. And this is one of the things I was talking about in that second book of mine. The actual understanding.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I always try to speak like them, relate to them because my purpose is to teach.
Right.
So I'm not gonna come on here and just say all these terms that I know. maybe like we have a lot of smart subscribers,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe they don't understand it. So I always explain, you
Yeah.
know.
That
So
helps me when you
a
explain.
book smart person doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna be street smart to understand that, because the street smart person has emotional intelligence.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't know about emotional intelligence. They look at that word and think, "Oh, you know how to manage your emotions." No, that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional intelligence allows you to identify quick,
That's true.
your feelings,
Mm-hmm.
other people's feelings, read things, intuition, regulate things, not just your emotions.
Right.
So you're identifying someone who's just book smart doesn't may not have emotional intelligence.
That makes
So
sense.
you talk about the woman that you're willing to work with her. Let's say 3, 4 degrees, doctorate, masters, all that. She's just straight book smart.
Right.
She's not street smart. She doesn't have common sense. She's gonna adopt um a level of confidence that might even go beyond. She might be arrogant, right?
Mm.
She speaks very well. She thinks she's smarter than you. When she knows that she has, like, she's dating me, she knows that she has higher degrees than me.
Okay.
She might not say that. She might be scared. So she might not say it. Maybe in an argument,
Mm.
she might throw it in my face. But she might not say that. But in her mind, she might think I'm better. So if I'm going in there trying to teach her, she's gonna be like, this nigga, like,
Yeah. I gotta learn from you.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
I got these degrees. Like, what are you talking about?
Mm.
And I make the same amount you make, or even if I make less, like look at all this stuff I've done.
Yeah.
So that's just the book smart person. That's the ignorant person. Like, yo, what I'm teaching you is about life. What
Mm-hmm.
I'm teaching you about is relation. None of those books taught you how to keep a man, right? So I'm gonna teach you that. So this is the street smart coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it comes down to those things of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Now that book smart woman may not have that emotional intelligence. That book smart guy may not have that emotional intelligence. He may have a lot of rage. He may be abusive in all those regards. He may not have the empathy and compassionate, not know how to identify certain situations when they're occurring. Pressure situations arise, he panics like a
Mm.
female because he was never in those certain circumstances to go through the struggle or even adopt the street smarts abilities to navigate through the pressure.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So it's a whole big spectrum of things when you look at book smart versus street smart.
Hmm. That's true.
You know what I mean?
Um, I think it's important that we have these types of, because I don't think a lot of people think about that. What's more important, or what's more powerful, being street smart or book smart? Like, I don't even. Do
Yeah,
you think people know what
I
what
think
they are?
I think that it's good, like you said, these terms people just look at them for that. So
Mm.
when you mention like streetwise, they think, oh, they grew up in the hood, so they adapted these skills. And I just explained it right now. It's a
Yep.
metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not somebody that is in that environment. Like, I grew up on the block. I
Mm.
was selling dope. I was this. I was always in the streets. It is a skill that you adopt mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like a quick-witted person.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that knows, like, okay, like, we every time I go out with my family, I'm like the dad in my family. So we went out for New Year's Eve,
Nice.
right? And there was like
Excuse me.
there was one guy there that I noticed that was too saucy.
Mm.
And my intuition kick up, see the street smart. So now while everybody's having fun, they don't notice or see what I see.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I gotta watch this guy because he's coming around. Like, my brother went to the bathroom and he's trying to talk to his girl. I put my hand out. Nah, bro, she's taken. by, oh, me and my brother's girl look at each other, my youngest brother,
Mhm.
and then like she's looking at him like weird and scared. I'm like, what's wrong with this dude? And he's going to the VIP. Then he's going over there. Then he's going to the DJ, pounding him up. I'm watching him in the corner of my eye. All of these things,
Mhm.
and then I bring it to my attention of like my sister, my niece's man, because my niece's man was like, yeah, what's the problem? Like he ready to throw down. I'm like, no, 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 everything,
It's
everything
okay.
is good. It's good. We got it. So then like he's now trying to talk to my sister, and I'm looking, and then he comes over. Oh, we're brothers. I'm like, what you talking about? Oh, that's your sister over there, right? Yeah, we're brothers. Nah, bro, like chill, like because he was trying to talk to her. I guess she would told him, oh, why those guys looking at me? Oh, those are my brothers. So he's going, oh, we're brothers. He's trying to
Mm.
kick it. So he's like, bro, relax. Like you tense. We all having fun, and I was dancing. I was having a good time. I was like, bro, if you don't make it a problem, it won't be a problem. And he was like, oh, okay. He just started. He left. That was the last time I seen him.
Wow.
But it's like I'm seeing all these things, right, through that lens of the street smart
Mm.
abilities, even though I'm book smart. But
Mhm.
someone who's not street smart can't see that.
Right.
They're too engulfed in the moment.
Right, and what they're doing right now, right.
You know what I'm saying? So those little things can save your life,
Oh,
can
yeah.
help you. Like, you say the wrong thing to him, you say whatever. Like, dude, I don't care. I'm ready to go to war for my people I love. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but the thing is, like, you gotta also be smart, which I was, and have emotional intelligence, and
Mhm.
don't go. I wasn't disrespectful. I let him know what it is. I could have been like, yo, fuck, what you talking to my girl? And made it probably worse. I
Yeah.
don't know him or who he knows,
Yeah.
but I let him know these are my people. We all having a good time. They playing compa Haitian music. They playing Spanish music. They playing soca reggae. We all having a good time. You know what I'm saying? If you don't make it a problem, it won't be one. So now I put it on him. What you
Mhm.
want to do? It's your choice. Because it could really go down.
Oh,
But it's
no.
on you. So now he kind of peeped that like, oh, he bringing that energy. Let me not play. Because like you dealing with a masculine dude here. And you got
Yeah.
to know that. So I had to like let him know of establishing dominance quick.
Mm. You were pounding on that chest.
Like a gorilla.
Yeah, you're like,
when when
"I'm the
when
top
when
dog
when
here."
gorillas do that, they're saying that they want to fight.
Oh, so you weren't pounding your chest. You were just
Yeah,
saying, "I'm the
yeah.
guy."
Sometimes when like they also do that too, they're trying to tell the other gorilla like they want to smash their girl.
Oh my
So if the
god.
gorilla is with his wife or whatever, and you see another gorilla do that, that's like fighting words. It's like a, you know what
He's
I'm
like,
saying?
"Come here,
I,
baby.
I
I
learned all
got
this
you."
from the Discovery Channel.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice. See?
so so I
So we
wasn't
learned
doing
something.
that.
He was not doing that, people.
Yeah, but you just gotta like adopt that. You know what I'm saying? And it is not too late to adopt it. It's just like I said, having a relationship with God, you have a relationship with God, and then you build this intuition. Like it's like a spiritual intelligence where you have like a inner consciousness
Mhm.
that's giving you that divine assistance in many circumstances. Like my antennas metaphorically went up when
Mm.
I peeped that. Like I
Yeah.
peeped the energy quick. You know what I'm saying? We're in VIP, like there's podiums here. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you coming around? You didn't pay for a table.
Right.
So now I'm like, he waited till my brother left, and then he's, oh, like you wouldn't assume like if girl and guy sitting together, like
Right,
maybe they
right.
go together, and then I'm like, right off the bat, I put my arm right there, like stopped him. Nah, 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 bro. She's taken. You're good. That's what I told him. You're good. And he left.
He was like,
Like,
"Okay."
yeah, like it's but it's situations like those things. But mind you, right? If I'm not, you know, like honing in on these skills and using them, I'm not able to protect.
Yeah.
Like that could have put her in a position of, just feeling mad traumatized. Like she looked scared.
Yeah.
You
She
know what I'm
probably
saying?
didn't want nothing to happen either.
Yeah. So it's
Ditto.
it's like little things, have like come about. when you just incorporate it. But I think that the people that have both are very, very powerful
Yeah,
and can be dangerous in a good way, in a bad way,
I agree.
but hopefully good way.
Yes, use your
But
power
there's
for
a
good,
lot of
people.
people that can,
Take advantage of
incorporate
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, you have good and bad people, and people who take advantage of situations all the time. So I agree.
yeah. Um, as that, with that, I think, you know, which would you rather have? Like if you can't pick both.
Definitely street smart, because like I said, I think if you have street smart, you have everything that you said comes with it. You have the emotional intelligence, you have the spiritual intelligence, you have your instincts that kick in, your survival instincts, those antennas that come up. You have all that. And if you don't have book smart, you can go out and get it also. You know what I mean? But I also agree the same thing with book smart. Um, it's hard to if it's hard to not it not it's hard only if they don't wanna if they're not open to learning. You know what I mean? If they are just closed off and they think, being book smart own they might not even know about, like street smart stuff. They might be like, well, why do I need it for? I'm never gonna be in any situation where I do need it. And that is them not being open to learn, because you're always gonna be in a situation where you're gonna need some types of street smarts to get you out of it, I think.
Animal instincts.
Mm.
We connect with animals,
Yeah.
and we have similar characteristics of them due to certain things like survival, anger, arousal, etc. Right? So I think that those things are like animal instincts when you can pick up on them. Also, I think street smarts helps you in the dating market.
Oh yeah?
You know,
How?
I say that because you asked about like this earlier in this segment about like
The
a
women?
woman going out there and dating or a guy. So I think the street smarts helps you to vet, because if you're just book, like I mentioned, remember I mentioned earlier I met a woman who was just book, and then I
Mm-hmm.
was teaching her all about male nature. Like Shorty was in her 30s, and like, damn, wow, I never learned all these things. And then she didn't believe me. Then she started seeing all these podcasts saying what I
The
was
same
telling
thing.
her
Mm.
after. You know what I'm saying? And then women too, because she was kind of like a feminist. And feminists sometimes they have like trauma where anything a man is saying, forget it, because
Right.
they like kind of hate men. Have a resentment towards men. So now they need to hear it from a woman for them to
To
want to
really
do it or
believe.
do yeah.
Yeah.
So like that helped me get my point across because she was hearing women saying it too. But she had all these degrees and didn't know of these things, basic things of men and women.
Mm.
So I think that a book smart person, when they just go out there to like navigating into the dating market and to date, they don't know what vetting is. So they might start
That's
off the
true.
first date, oh, what's your favorite color? This is what I do. I've done this and I'm the youngest to rise in this corporation, and it's
Mm.
the female might be talking, it's a male dominating, or the man is like, oh, he's just talking about his accolades like all the whole date,
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, he didn't. The girl's like thinking he didn't have shit about me.
Right.
Like they're not. That's not common sense. Like
Right.
it's like the purpose of dating is trying to see if you're compatible. So you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to get to know the opposing person, right? So if you have high street smart skills, then you can vet right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you're asking the right questions also to protect you and to see how you're going to be present,
Right.
especially women, because they're going to put themselves more at risk to be susceptible to a lot of things as they're absorbing everything and they're also submitting. So if they have street smarts, they're actually like, without asking the guy they're seeing, well, let me see if he's going to offer to pick me up. Okay, kept mental documentation. He didn't.
Mm.
Hmm, it's cold. We came in one car. He sent me out to go start the car, and he told me to stay here.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. Yeah, and he stayed in.
Mm.
I'm keeping mental segmentation of that because anything could happen to me out there. So
Yeah.
no protection. Mm, didn't hold my hand. Maybe that's optional for some people. Some people are like a little icky about that. I don't know you yet. Don't touch me. Or maybe energy transfer. Some people are, what I'm saying about that.
Mhm.
So maybe that's not something you need to do. Like it could be optional. Maybe talk about that before. Right. Oh, but maybe she likes that and she said that she likes that. And he was like, "Oh, I do that, so that well, it's compatible." And but he doesn't do it.
Right.
Mm, he lied. So I'm keeping mental documentation of that, like observing
Right.
body language,
Yeah.
observing what he's saying, actions not matching words. That's the street smart skills. Same thing with the guy. So now she's like, I don't feel safe here because she incorporated her street smart abilities and in adopting these survival characteristics to help her either move forward or not. Same thing with the guy. Mm, you know, she's a little like the waitress is smiling at me, flirting.
Mm.
I'm not flirting back. She is getting an attitude. The date is getting an attitude, pointing that out like, oh, the waitress did this twice. She could be a little insane. Because that's like it's the first date, girl.
Right.
Like,
Where you're
why
getting
you?
jealous.
Yeah, why you trying to like be territorial?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's a red
So
flag for
so
sure.
that's a red flag. The guy is using his street smart abilities to know that me, I'm nipping it in the bud. I'm not hiding that. I'm mentioning it.
Okay.
Like but another guy is just incorporating that and just keeping it to himself. Okay, strike one maybe.
Mm.
So I think the street smart ability could help them navigate well into the dating market.
That makes
Kind of
sense
like
though.
filtering out
Mhm.
the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna kind of be in sync with my boundaries and principles and morals and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, she posting her booty online and stuff of that nature. She probably got a lot of bodies. She probably fucks on the first night. She's easy. Look what she's already doing. She's very dominant, probably very obviously masculine. Um, is so freely and stuff of that nature. So now you're like, you're looking at her activities online, and you're like, hmm, what else is she easily willing to do? She could be the Dubai chick.
Mm.
She could be the Dubai. She look like she got a lot of money. It ain't her money. She got that off a easy lay
Oh
or
wow.
got shitted on or some shit like whatever. You know what I'm
Just.
saying? So it's like you're reading in depth, a little assuming, which is presumptuous, but it's not bad because you're looking at what they're already doing. That it's like, this is the ultimate level. And especially for a woman, like her body is a temple, so like opening her legs or showing it and stuff like that, that's like a ultimate form of submission.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So if she's single and she's doing that, come on, that's easy. Like, yo, she's for the street. She's a thought. She's a whole shit. And that's the street smart dude. Now the book smart dude, maybe who has a lot of money, is like, oh, this is,
She likes me.
yeah, this is inviting. This is good. And she responded to my DM and she's
Mhm.
answering me in the comments. He thinks that's a big deal. I said, "You're beautiful." She said, "Thank you." Wow, she's interested. But she
Mm.
says that to everybody. So he's just like, now I'm gonna lead with my pocket. He's not street smart.
Yeah.
He's dumb.
Yeah.
But he has all this money, right? All this success. He's book smart, right? But he's really dumb because he's not street.
Right.
So he's not looking at like what she's doing. He's unaware of female nature. He's unaware of his own nature and male nature. So you see, there's no street smart there.
Mhm.
So he's on a path to like so much things that can happen to him risky wise.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm not talking about physical harm, but like you might get a woman like that who is like, yo, girl, calls her girl in the bathroom. Yo, I just scored big. Let's set
Mhm.
them up.
Yep.
They get all
So
this
many like that.
information. get his wallet or whatever, put some in his drink or whatever, and now his whole bank account wiped out, stuff he got overseas wiped out. He got left with nothing, and
Yeah.
they didn't need to physically hurt him.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
true.
And it's like it's not the street smart that he had to possibly see what could happen down the line
Mm-hmm.
because of based off what he chose and subject himself to that he couldn't see how she was acting. See what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
The littlest things she's doing, what you're not seeing, she could be doing. She could be a scammer,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
opportunist, all this. She's clearly advertising her body. So she might be selling it.
Or
And if
laying a
she's
trap.
and if yes, and if
Mm-hmm.
putting a trap, selling it, she's like for the woman's perspective way is like part of that selling her soul. Selling her soul, she don't have that anymore, so she can't see herself in the mirror, right? And if she can't see herself in the mirror, then she don't have morals and principles. So
Mm.
she is willing to do that without even blinking an eye, without even feeling guilty about it. We just robbed this nigga. They don't feel guilty because their soul is gone. So they're like almost like fundamentally evil.
Mm.
There's no remorse of what they're doing. There are no principles in no regard of the littlest things that they're doing online. That's a street smart guy or girl that's dissecting the littlest thing that she's doing, possibly more on the out. And those are still assumptions, but they're not bad to think like
Mm.
that.
No, they're gonna
Because
save your
even if
life.
you don't have that proof, like it's good that you could even think that way because now it's like if I could assume and but then I'll pass it, and
Yeah.
then now that helps you mitigate that risk
Yep.
for harm versus you're not even on that level of street smart and you're just like now um just thinking emotionally.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
So for those men and women who are book smart but are listening to the or watching the podcast, and they're like, well, how can I get to be street smart? What would you like advise them to do? Because
when
I
i
mean,
when
that's
i
kind of hard, but I like these questions.
when I'm gonna tell you the answer. So
Hey.
when I was in when I was in life coach class before I got my certifications, um, we had like oral presentations,
Mm-hmm.
right? So mine was like um intuition.
Okay.
And one of the things I learned from the professor, he was saying, because I knew this already, and then he just confirmed it. He talked about, I'm glad I got intuition because it was like, man, I didn't get a hard one. Um, how can you adopt it because we all have it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not, he wouldn't say adopt, like it wasn't like adopting it, but it was like how can you bring this to life, how can you hone in on this skill,
Mm.
so I said what I said, and obviously you have to take tests for these certifications and pass. So when so that is it, it's like it's getting in tune with your DNA.
Mm.
And how would you do that? You would have to recognize that you have intuition, and then you would have to work on it. Meditation, I said, was one. This is
Mm-hmm.
in the class. Meditation is one. Um, I said subjectively, relationship with God,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be like church or personal. You don't have to go to church. Reading,
Mm-hmm.
um, 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 incorporating emotional intelligence. So identifying situations where they are, like that's how you're testing it. So not ignoring the gut feelings. A lot of people ignore the gut feelings. Remember, we're spirits in flesh. We all get these gut feelings. It's just certain people, a lot of people ignore them. Not certain people, a lot of people ignore them. And it could be a
That's true.
multitude of reasons of why they're ignoring it. The food they're eating, they don't have a relationship with God. The things they're reading, eating, ingesting visually on social media, just
Mm-hmm.
watching like stupid stuff, not conducive stuff to their health.
Like what's influencing them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of these things are like keeping like a invisible shield
Mm.
from the energies getting in that is divine. So that's how they would like work on it and then like keep working on it and trusting that. Like
That's
you gotta
good.
trust your intuition.
Yeah.
So for example, when I talked about going out on a date and then you notice the woman kind of like getting angry with the waitress, like you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you like check her or is it like,
Mm.
yo, like stay in your place.
Yeah.
I'm a handsome dude. Get used to that.
Right. It's
It's
just a
really the
date.
only thing you should be concerned with is I'm flirting back in front of you. That's
Oh, that would
disrespectful.
be crazy.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So in a way it's like what would that woman be doing?
Mm.
Like she's not like you're focused on the wrong thing. But me, I'm like using my intuition to see, she's a psycho.
Yeah.
She's this, she's that, and it's only the first date. Or or you
Run.
see certain things that your boy or your girl is doing. The little backhanded jokes. That's
Mm.
real. They jealous of you.
Yep.
They got something. Like they're not they don't want you to be successful. Like now you're studying that. Like that's things that you don't let slide. A lot of times there are certain things that I let and I mentioned the foods and the aspects. Also, it could be time you invested with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Cause
That's
somebody
true.
or two girls that went to high school together, middle school or whatever. Oh, I known her for 15 years. But she ignores those things.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the longevity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing. So I would tell them to identify that you have this and then work on it through
Mm.
those things. Meditation, sunlight, nature, the
Exercise.
food you eat, exercise, the relationships with the higher powers.
Who
And
you surround yourself with.
yeah, and then you'll start to, adopt these street smart abilities.
Definitely.
Final thoughts.
My final thoughts are, when it comes to street smart versus book smart, it's good. I don't think there's anything necessarily bad with being book smart. You can get far with being book smart. Like professionally. Like I said, if you are a person that's book smart, and you want to better yourself, then stay open to learning things. And people who are street smart doesn't necessarily make them better, than other people. Especially if they have that intuition and all that stuff that comes with it, and then just continue to do the same things over and over. And you know what I mean? Like for each of them, I think being open to growth is important. Um, and that's it. That's all I got.
Um, street smart, book smart. So I think that street smart individuals have a lot of potential to go far
Mm.
because their glass is not full.
Mm-hmm.
It's half full. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's you know what I'm saying? So I think that they look at it that way once they get to that level. They don't think it's half empty. They think it's half full because they've already gone through the hard stuff already.
Mm.
So any endeavors that they plan to engage in, ventures, um, they utilize those in those new ventures or endeavors, right? Whereas the book smart individuals believe that their cup is like full or
Mm.
close to be full. And then they can't even fathom anything else. So like me, right? I base my perspectives and and like how I navigate through life through a couple of things. Experience, statistics. You have some people who just go off statistics.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give you an example because you're like, okay, but I feel like you don't understand because of that tone. And maybe I'm losing other people too. So, for example, let's say the dating market.
Mhm.
Let's say statistically, a woman is supposed to be attracted to a man who's 6'4", 250 pounds, muscles, tattoos, black, um, pause, big dick, a lot of money, and also status. You can't just have a lot of money. Status. So it's not like you're just a illegal drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Or you're a hired assassin.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like it's like status that is respected in society,
Mhm.
right? So statistically, they'd be like, "Oh well, this is the ideal man," and it's like that's wrong.
Mm.
Because you could be like, nah, I'm not. I'm open to all races.
Mm.
You could be like, why he need to be 6 foot? Well, why can't he be 5'11"? I'm not tall. I could
That's
get it
right.
if the chick is like I'm 6'1". So I
Right. I need
won't.
somebody taller.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 5'11" already. The chick is saying. So they're like, what? I mean, does he need to make all this bread? You know what I'm saying? Does he need to have tats?
Mm.
Does he need to have a big dick? I mean, shit, that shit might hurt. I got a small joint. I'll be bleeding. You know what I'm saying? Like, a good size is good. Motion and ocean. Like, you see what I'm doing?
Mhm.
I'm like, statistically, that's not on women. Like, that's a person
That's
that's just
true.
book
Yeah.
smart,
Yeah.
just going off statistics. So now I'm talking about, like, now I'm changing the game because I'm like, well, you know, experiences, this, that, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, you know, the statistics don't always put it in that realm where it is completely what it is.
Right.
As things are evolving and women are evolving and changing and stuff of that nature, there's a lot more independent women now. So how is that still gonna be valid?
That's a good point.
Back then, I get it. But it's like the whole tall, dark, handsome thing, Prince Charming, blah blah blah. That was like a image, knight shining armor, Disney films, indoctrinating women's head, poisoning them to think that's what it is, that's the ideal man and all that, and I gotta live like this and blah 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 and have this Cinderella, ooh, whatever, damsel in distress. It's really not it from experience now. You're actually in the game, you're not on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at different perspectives, different environments, different parts of the world, different races, different
Mhm.
ethnicities, and you're seeing that that is not true anymore. That's for like a small percentage,
Mhm.
you know, or you look at certain situations where it's like you could tell somebody, listen, if you're gonna buy a car and you know you're not gonna keep it for a long time, don't buy manual. Don't buy manual. Even if you know how to shift and stuff of that nature, don't buy manual because manuals are not desirable because a lot of people don't know how to drive them.
Mm.
So the resale value is low. So for what you paid for it years ago, you're not even gonna get back like a quarter. Can be
That's
way
crazy.
less. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a desirable commodity. That you could be like, oh, the statistics for that is true. You see what I'm saying? So it really depends on what it is.
Mm.
That's why it's like the street smart person who's also book questions everything.
Yep.
You know what
They're
I'm
a force
saying?
to
It's
be
like
reckoned
you
with.
can't talk about what like all chicks like when it's like, wait a minute, I know these chicks that are real chicks, not like hoes, that don't like that.
Mm.
Half of the stuff you're saying. Like where are you getting your statistics from? You know
Yeah,
what I
like your
mean? Really. So
information.
so it comes down to like certain things that you can incorporate by being street smart, where I believe that you have more opportunity to grow and then take what you've learned to dominate in whatever endeavor venture.
Mm,
Whereas the book smart solely, it's limited. You're limited. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I think it's good to have both.
Yeah,
People
definitely.
should work on both. But if I was choosing one, street,
Me too.
street, because there's so much room for growth and so much opportunity, um, where you can take what you learn and
Apply it.
and just apply that everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas it won't work the other way around if it's just solely that. Because it's like just the way I broke it down, is so many factors. When
Yeah.
somebody's just book smart, it doesn't necessarily mean like how good they're gonna be as far as a partner,
Right. That's true.
how good they're gonna be as far as like a dad. Like street smart gives you the ability to be like, oh, my dad stayed with my mom. I saw how he was with us and kids and my grandfather and my uncle. And it's like you're like retaining that, and now you're like learning how to be a father from what you saw your father do. That's not something books can teach you.
That's true.
Or a woman is learning how to be a wife from how she saw her mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not something books can teach you. That's street smart.
That's true. Experience. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just comes down to, man, sometimes they take over. You know what I mean? Like we don't rehearse this shit. Like I'm so busy, I don't even got time to prepare. You saw us
That's
before.
true.
We're going through the books. Which one you want to do today? No, we need a guest for that. We need,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We ain't ready. We even have no bullets today. Sometimes they just take over. But I just speak from the heart. And
Mm-hmm.
that's
It's
always
the
the
best.
realest thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I think I would go with that if I had to choose, and then I would tell everybody else. And like, it's good to have, like, you know, don't. There's some street smart people who like who still make dumb decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they speak very well.
Mm-hmm.
They do all these things, and people can put book smart people in different categories of saying, oh, a book smart person is someone who has degrees, and you
Yeah.
have somebody that like didn't finish school or did 1 year of college, 2 years of college, whatever, didn't finish 3 years of college. You was almost there. You didn't make it, but there's so much street smart with them. You know what I'm saying? That they're smarter than the college grad
Mm.
who is book smart. So it really depends on, there's certain categories you could put these people in these frames. It's not any thing urban or hood.
But you
Um
can't like pigeonhole them to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
That's true.
it comes down to the individual and their experiences, and then how do they utilize that to navigate them where they are.
Mm.
But I think that yeah, I think more women and men should be street smart, and I think that would help them connect with each other.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you were tuned into one of the most raw, uncut, unapologetic, real, no holds barred, the This One Type podcast. Peace.
Peace.